exactly do you mean by tough tech?
Well, the way I think of tough tech is it is people, engineers, scientists, really tackling what I think of as the world's biggest problems. And often these things need time to be nurtured, time to work out technical risk, but the results of them can be transformational to the world. So that's how we think of tough tech.
So how much time are we talking about here? Are we talking about how long it's going to take us to get a rocket to Mars, or 5 years?
You know, I think there's a range. I think some of them take between 1 and 4 years longer than other kinds of tech startups, and some could take as long as 15 years longer. But, you know, some of those really ambitious projects, like, you know, what if we had infinite energy because of fusion? That could be really worth the wait. If you think about the impact that could have on climate change, it would be tremendous. So, you know, or could we grow a human kidney? These are all really important things that could change lifespan, could change how our planet functions, but some of these take longer.
So give us some examples of these ambitious projects that you're funding and whether they're seeing progress.
Yes, so, you know, typically we're funding people as they're coming out of a lab in one of the major universities here in Boston, MIT, Harvard, you know, et cetera. And what we see is, you know, we try to help form the companies. So it's usually 3 to 5 people deeply steeped in whatever problem they're trying to solve. You know, these are often accidental entrepreneurs. They're PhDs who never knew they would be entrepreneurs. But what we see is they set out a very ambitious technical and business planning cycle. And the progress we often see in the first year is to take out some of the most important technical risk, which will give more people, more funders, you know, the ability to see beyond these early risks into how they could develop into large companies. So, you know, we started a little over a year ago investing. We now have, you know, 13 investments in very broad-ranging areas. One I mentioned earlier is in fusion. It's a company called Commonwealth Fusion. They are looking to create kind of the next generation of fusion. It's a wonderful team out of MIT. You know, they have 2 major milestones until they can be in market. One is 3 years from now. That for many people is too long, but if you look at the impact, if they prove out their technical risk in the next 3 years, their company will be much more valuable at that point. Or we have things in, you know, biotechnology that often there's a, you know, 15-month to 2.5 year life cycle that the company has to get through. But we are watching our companies, even in the first year, get through important technical and business milestones, raise more capital, and be on their way to creating important companies. So it's not like tough tech takes forever. We still are impatient about the next milestone, but you have to see over the long term that you have to develop these things with longer vision.